first of all, the name of the band. What made you think of using a mystery thriller movie, The Drowning Pool, as a band name? What was it about that movie?
Yeah, the thing with the movie, I mean, what's really cool for my drummer Mike Luce and myself, we're both from New Orleans, and the whole thing with the Drowning Pool movie with Paul Newman back in I think it was 677 or something like that is a murder mystery type thing. But the real name Drowning Pool actually comes from Iceland, and there is an actual drowning pool. I didn't know that till years later, and it's kind of dark history that we won't go down now. But the whole subject came up. We were all in a rehearsal room kicking around, names for the band, and we just happened to start, conversations. Since the first time you got laid, first time, what were you doing when you got laid? So our bass player, his parents went out of town that weekend, and he's hanging with this girl, and she's like, this Drowning Pool movie came on, murder mystery thing, and that's the first time I got laid. And when he said Drowning Pool, I was like, oh, Drowning Pool, man, that sounds pretty cool. So that's how that name came up.
Interesting way of looking at it. Okay,
Yeah.
the other main side is the musical chairs in regards to band members, especially vocalists.
It's only been vocalists with the musical chairs. Yeah.
Now, firstly, how has this changed the sound and style of each album with changing of the vocalists?
Yeah, it's been a pretty wild roller coaster ride, man. I didn't know that we would be one of those bands. I wouldn't say pigeonholed, but definitely within history where the singer had passed away. It's not an uncommon thing, but it's definitely a tragedy for all bands when it happens. And as a fan, I've been guilty of it. Some of my favorite bands, like the singer passed away and they got somebody else, and it's like it's never going to be the same as that guy. Alice in Chains being an example for me, but the guy they have now that's been with them since Lane passed away, it's like he's amazing, and they're amazing, and you still get Alice in Chains, you get the full show, who's there. So with us, losing Dave Williams back in 2002 was a major tragedy for us. He had cardiomyopathy of the left ventricle. He had heart disease. So Mike, Stevie, and myself, we've been playing together since high school. And we write how we write together. We write music together, and then we bring a singer in. I'm very proud of the Desensitized record with Jason Gong Jones, and he had his own powerful voice he brought to the table. We had two amazing records with Ryan McCombs. We had such a great relationship with Ryan. And then, we just said we had to take a little break. And it said 3 years or 13 years. I didn't get the memo, but it's 13 years. We're back now with Ryan. It's been awesome. So I would say, we write what we write in the moment and what we feel as a band. With each singer, they definitely have their different range and strong points that as far as we do, it's Mike, Stevie, myself will write music, and then we might curtail it a little bit to like focus on the stronger side of what singer we're working with at the time. But someone like with Ryan McCombs, and especially us now, Drowning Pool coming up on 25 years later, Mike, Luce, Stevie, Bent, myself, we all sing a lot more and write a lot more on that as well. So it's just it's a natural evolution of the band, and I feel like right now we can write and do anything we want. We have the ability to write in many different styles, from heavy stuff we've ever done to the lightest stuff we've ever done.
So because of the different vocalists that you've had on the albums, is there a particular album that you personally lean towards as one of the better ones or the best album?
I will say the records we've done with Ryan McCombs, the Full Circle and the self-titled, were some of the fun, especially now writing with Ryan again. We've just always had a great writing relationship. It seems like we have the most natural flow, if you will. Whereas with with Jason Gong Jones, Mike and Steve and myself had already written the majority of that. Same thing with the Center record before we even had Dave. We wrote a lot of that before we brought a singer in. So, I mean, dude, they're all my favorite. It's hard to pick. It's like, I sit around the house. We had guitars everywhere, and I still, even though I've recorded the songs, or sometimes we play some live or not, I still sit around the house and play these songs because I love these songs. Like that's what I wrote.
Okay, so let's talk about Ryan coming back into the band. How did it all progress? How did it happen? What was the process of it?
It's a pretty wild progression. I didn't, I was always hoping we'd do stuff with Ryan again. Right place and right time. We had a great 10 years with Jason Moreno, our last singer. We did 3 awesome records with him, and with Jason Moreno, he had his own style of singing that he brought to the band, which I like the originalness of the style that he has. Ryan McCombs, I think by far, and even Jason would agree that his voice and tone fits the best with our band since Dave Williams. But the way that came about, we wrote the Strike a Nerve record before COVID and had it ready to go. And then we had to, wait like everybody else did to finally get it going. And by the time we got to it, I think that was the 3rd time with Jason and just with us, just between management in label in the business, and everybody just like giving you the business in the business. It's unbelievable how hard you can get, you know, screwed around in the music business. And I think he was definitely at that point where he was over it, and so were we. So Mike and Steve and myself, like we do, together as us three and started actually doing a couple shows together as a three piece. I figured, we kind of thought for a minute that's the way we were gonna. This is what's gonna happen with us, which was fine because it's always been the foundation anyway. But you know, here we are. We had a big show at Pantera coming up last year. It was the first show for Pantera to come back to the States. You know, doing what they do now, which is amazing. And you know, we had offered to do the show, so it was Stevie Ben was like, why don't we call up Ryan McCombs and do some, you know, we do some reunion shows since we have these big festivals. We had again Pantera and a few other festivals coming up instead of doing it as a three piece. And the second Ryan came here, actually he stays here right here in my house in the studio. The second he came back to my house, man, we just sat in here and just started writing songs again. Like we didn't skip a beat, man. It was just like instant, and we just reconnected like that naturally. And then ever since then, man, we just been playing shows and touring. The phone's been, you know, ringing off the hook, man. Come play here, come play here. And it's great. You see that in our live show. You see us four having fun on stage. There's no drama in the drama fools right now. It's all fucking awesome, amazing. And I'm happier now playing music than ever been in my entire life. I didn't know we would be here, and I'm very grateful that we're here now.
So it just gelled straight away.
Just straight away, man. There's never been, we never had any kind of big beef or animosity back then. I think just at that time when we took a little hiatus, we were all four of us had a lot of stuff going on personally, and we kind of needed to take the break. And then it just kind of evolved into, you know, going into like a lot longer than we thought. I mean, as life progresses, but I mean, here now, man, it's been really, really great, dude. It's reconnecting with Ryan, and a lot is going on in his life and with us. And there's a lot of subjects to write about musically, and also what's currently going on in the world. And that's just what we do in Drown Pool, man. We, you know, we take what's going on right now, what we're feeling, and we jump in a room and we rock out together as a four-piece band. We keep it all natural and all real.
So is Ryan still doing his Soil project?
Yeah,
If you call
he
it?
is. Yeah, he's still doing Soil, which is great. They just got done touring, so we have a great relationship with those guys. You know, with him and with Adam, we've been friends for 20 years, and we have a balance, and we stay in touch with each other. So we try to plan around each other's schedule, and all the respect to each band. You know, Soil is its own entity and its own sound with Ryan, and I love Soil. We've always loved Soil and Ryan with Soil. So you know, all the love and respect to them to keep rocking out and going. And then, you know, here we are lucky again to have Ryan in the band doing our thing. So it's a balance there, and it's a rock and roll friendship that we have. And I mean, all the love and respect to them.
Now, when it comes to your songs, a lot of people that don't know the band would know of the one main song, Bodies, of course, which is
yeah.
I'm known for. Now, are people still misinterpreted and associating it with violence, or have they started to really understand what the song's about?
Yeah, like just you know, the close friends and family and rock fans that know the song and know us, they know exactly. It's just a song about being in a mosh pit and having a great time, man. You know, if it gets outside of that box, people that don't very well know the band, and maybe they just heard it on the radio, they might interpret it in a negative light. I never thought of it being like that, because it's not a negative song. Actually, it's a fun song to play, man. I mean, everybody goes, you know, crazy. You know, it has this energy to it, and it's rock and roll theme song vibe to it. It's has nothing to do with violence. So it's always kind of weird and to me and to us as a band when it gets misinterpreted like that. But as of late, there hasn't been any kind of violent tendencies to it. I mean, you know, there's 1 or 2 episodes coming out pretty soon that's going to use the song in the background during some kind of intense scene, but that's not what the song is about.
Okay, you as a guitarist, how do you feel that you've changed over the years, and have you got more technical, or have you, as you grow, where have you moved towards?
You know, I'm always trying to push the limits and find something else on the guitar or some zone that I haven't played in yet, or trying different things and different chords. It's and I've always been a lover of music. I've been fortunate. You know, I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, which has I grew up with a wild mix of jazz and blues as a foundation. You know, I'm a child of the '80s, you know, and '90s. So there was metal, and Alex Skolnick's one of my favorite from Testament. He's a shredder. So I stay up on my shreds, but also, we came out late '90s, early 2000s, called new metal, and it's more of a jam feel, not so much of a leady thing. But when it fits right for the song, I'll put it in there. But I always get up and stay up on my chops, and I'm always trying to push the limits. I'm always still trying to figure out and learn new things, man. The thing that's wonderful about guitar for me and music as a whole is like, you know, it's a forever a learning experience. It's I'm forever finding something new. It never gets old and boring to me. So I always love the challenges on the guitar.
So looking back at the album Sinner and its unlucky 13th anniversary edition with the commentary, was that your idea as a band or was that more the record company?
Oh no, it was our idea as a band, and we had Glenn Bennett, who actually filmed the Bodies video, help us out with that as well. And he has some great suggestions to do that. We're coming up on the 25 anniversary, which is amazing. I can't believe we're here now. 13 was David's favorite number. So instead of we thought an unlucky 13 anniversary thing was kind of a hats off to Dave Williams. I wanted to do a 20-year anniversary, but our 20-year anniversary of Center happened during COVID. So during that time, I already started putting a lot of things together. We have a lot of songs and unreleased material with Dave Williams. We have I put together, I have more video and audio than I thought I had. So I'm glad that, I already started getting that ball rolling. So on the 25 anniversary, which is coming up in 2026, we're going to have a lot of amazing things to put out here for all the hardcore fans, especially the Dave Williams fans. And out of love and respect to Dave Williams, of course, for the amazing short time that we had with him.
Yeah, I love that. I love the Sinner album, especially.
Dude, I love it, man.
Away has got is just, and it's got that Alice in Chains influence there.
Yeah, I had some Alice in Chains influence. My wah pedal influence started, when I was really as a young age. My father was a big Jimi Hendrix, Jimmy Page fan, and so that kind of got me started with the wah pedal. Of course, Kirk Hammett is all over it, and then Alice in Chains, and then here I am using and abusing the shit out that pedal myself. But I try to do it our own way. I have a whammy and a wah, and I just try to bring the flavors to the table, like Tony Sacheri spices. The little flavor to the table, music wise, with sounds and stuff like that. But yeah, Tearaway is a great song. I'm working on this new song right now with Ryan. And again, we never try to recreate or write, a Bodies Part 2 or a Tearaway Part 2. We're not that kind of band. We write what we feel at the moment. And it just so happens, playing these songs again, especially Tearaway with Ryan again, because he just brings his own thing to the table, and all of us sing more on it now too. So the song has kind of grown live than what you even hear on the Center record. And because of that, it inspired me to work on this new song that's in that same vibe and zone. I can't wait to record that and get that out to the fans next year. So that's in the works, man.
let's go into the new
single,
Revolution, the final Amen. What a bloody song.
Thanks, man.
It's very powerful. It's choppy. It's like it's got in your face bits in there, and it's just like, yeah.
Dude, that came together. That's another one, just the music wise, just the excitement of having Ryan back in the band. That's one of the first things we started working on. There's a couple to 2 or 3 different songs and a few more that's going to be out here very soon. The first round of stuff we did with Ryan, and I have like a gazebo set up in my backyard, and I was actually out there with Ryan the first 3 days that he came in town, and I had the acoustic in my hand, but I just had that riff going, and we just started jamming it, and then we went into the room with Mike and Steven. It just came together like that, man. It's exactly what we are now. It's like the Drowning Pool, that that solid foundation that you got from the Center record, with Ryan McCombs on top of it. I'm very proud of that song. And dude, we've been rocking it out live the last few months since it came out, and the fans just instant reaction to it. It's got that same kind of Bodies vibe and feel to it. Again, not trying to write a Bodies Part 2. I know my wah pedal's on it, but it's not even in the same spot or the same key. It's just what we sound like, man. And it's such a great, powerful song, dude. Like everybody just goes nuts when we play it. Like I felt like the song, it's almost like it's been around forever, but it's brand new. I don't know how to describe it, but it's got the old school vibe, but a brand new song for us.
So during this interview, the one thing that you've said numerous times is that you're writing material. How far are you into with either completing the album or structuring songs?
Yeah, we have the plan is, we have a couple of more shows coming up here. We have a Texas run, just doing the state of Texas run in December. We do a lot of charity shows, Toys for Tots and things like that. I love doing every year around this time. And right after we do that run, we're going to go back to Vegas. Sean McGee is our producer. And we have 3 more on the table right now that we could probably knock out that we're trying to do. And just again, I was up last night. I'm in writing mode right now because we're not touring. We've been touring a lot the last year and a half, and throughout touring and stuff, especially coming off stage after a show, I come up with some riffs a lot of times because that intensity when you get off stage, and so now that I'm at home, I can put those riffs together. I have a lot of material. I probably have enough material, raw stuff, if I wanted to probably make 2 records, but as far as the band as a whole, us working on things, there's 3 solid down, and there's another 3 that are pretty much in the can too. So it's just that now I have the time to put it together. We have the time to record it. So there's a lot of ideas on the table, man. They just keep coming out because we're having fun with it. Inspired again. Having Ryan back in the band, and having these amazing, great shows, rocking out with the fans. It's I guess I would say I'm living a life when it comes down to that, living the dream of being creative and having the chance to write music.
Is there a lot of pressure though to actually get it done? Or are you just, taking it as it comes, and when the album's released next year?
There's never like a pressure like that. There's never a pressure as far as like, I write as it comes and how I feel. Yes, we want to get stuff out in a timely manner, of course. But there's never like, it's rock and roll. I'm not punching the clock on the thing, man. It's like, all right, I'm feeling it tonight. I'm going to stay up and work on this song, or we're feeling it today. Let's go in a room and put it together. But we definitely want to get stuff out. We will have some new record out sometime next year for sure. That's what we're working on.
Now you're coming over to Australia. What are we going to expect?
Yeah. Oh man, I'm so excited. I love it there. The first time we went there was 2001 or 2002. It was like the Big Day Out tour.
2002 with the Big Day Out.
Yeah, and it was so amazing. I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. Like I was like, this is so beautiful. I'm gonna move here, and I'm still very tempted. So we did the tour again. I think it was 2013 last time we went there. I'm real bad with numbers and math.
Last time you were here was in 2016, which was your headlining tour.
Yeah, that was all the bands on with us. That was a great run. Again, the second time I'm like, I'm gonna move to Australia. So this time, third time's a charm. I'm gonna go to real estate agents while I'm there, and I just might be living there. I'm bringing my wife and everything. But yes, it's but more importantly, and still than that, it's just awesome to rock out in Australia. There's so many great rock fans there. Everybody was so freaking cool and chill. It really is like the new world, if you will. Every city is freaking amazing. So we're looking forward to it, man. It's been way too long since we've been back.
Now we won't talk about the politics in regards to how you got the actual tour, but obviously you're really eager to come out, wanting it to happen.
Yeah. Well, we were working on a tour anyway to get there. That was something in the works already, but then we wound up jumping on this one because this one was ready sooner than the one we wanted to be on.
That was what my next question was going to be, was that when you actually release the album next year, when that's sorted out, that you'll come back and do a headlining tour.
That is the plan. That other thing as well, since 2016, we haven't been overseas in a long time. And again, having Ryan back in the band's been great. So our plan for 2025, starting with Australia, we want to stay overseas pretty much all of 2025. We have a lot of amazing things coming up for 2026. And I think when we come down to that, especially when the new record comes out, we'll take another run around the earth, if you will.
So when putting your live shows together, how difficult is it to work out what material you're actually going to play live to what the fans want?
It's a pretty wild one. We have you have some staples in there. Of course, we're going to play Bodies. We love playing Bodies, Tear Away, Sinner. There's staple songs that are going to be in the set. So everything else between that, there's also a rotating door of material. We have 7 records, right? And Ryan McCombs has been so great, especially for our fans, because there's fans from different records and different singers. So Ryan has always been very accommodating with that. There's going to be more, we have songs we did with Jason Moreno, Jason Gong Jones, obviously Dave Williams. So we can pretty much do just about anything we want off of any record. And we do mix it up a lot per tour, but also we have a bag of songs that, and some stuff we have never played live ever that we want to do as well. So we keep it fresh. And not only that, to further the conversation, like Grateful Dead, we might have a set list, and per night, we'll still change songs or play, depending on how we feel and how the crowd feels, or if somebody yells out a song, we'll play it. So even with a set list, if you will, a loosely based set list per tour, we still wind up changing it per night anyway. So if you follow our tour, every night you're going to get a different set from us. Absolutely.